morning. Today is Tuesday. It is January 31st. The year is 2023. We are now through the first month of our new year, 2023. 11 months left. Time flies. Time flies when you're not having no fun. I just got back from Grayson. Grayson, look at him. They just trying to get out. We want out. That's why I came over here to sit over here at this bar stool and do my little video. I need my asses. I just got back from Chicago. You gonna tear that door up, huh? I just got back from Chicago, and I went to Gary in Chicago for my uncle's funeral. Hold on. So went to Chicago. I went to Chicago for my uncle's funeral. He passed away. He's 83 years of age, 84, 85, somewhere up in there. So I was in Gary for his funeral, and then I spent a day in Chicago before heading back here to Atlanta. Boy, Gary is so depressing. I don't even know how to describe it. Last time I was there were some houses that were near in the neighborhood that I grew up in. They bulldozed those houses. The house I grew up in is still there, but there were quite a few houses that were there last time. It's depressing. All those abandoned homes. It's like, there should be no homeless people in America with all them abandoned homes in Gary. Nice homes that over the years just fell into disarray, abandoned. They just, end up. It's a bad situation in Gary. It's not good. Not good at all. I don't see that changing anytime soon, but I don't know. Who am I? So, but anyway, the police officers, six police officers, 5 were charged with murder in Tennessee, and the recent one was fired. I think he might be facing a criminal charge there too. And 3 paramedics were fired because of their response. This is the thing about this whole incident that concerns me, and I've said this before. 5 black officers take it upon themselves to beat to death another black man. That itself should say a lot about our community and how we treat each other. 5 police officers whose jobs are to protect and serve the community took it upon themselves to kill that young man for no reason. They don't even have a reason why they stopped his car. They never even came up with a reason why his automobile was stopped in the first place. They just pulled him over randomly for no reason at all. Snatched him out that vehicle. If you watch the video, I've only saw maybe the first minute or so. I can't watch that video. I can't do a job. I just got a point in my life where I'm good. I don't need to see it. But it's very concerning. This concerns me more than anything, that these black officers could disregard this man's life and beat him in such a manner for nothing. And this is why I keep thinking, maybe there's something. Did they know this guy? Did somebody know him? What trick is this? Have they had a run-in with him in the past? Or just to randomly choose somebody and beat them to death, this doesn't make sense to me. But I guess as the investigation moves forward, these 5 officers begin, as it moves through the judicial system and through the court system. But it's very concerning and very sad that these officers made this decision to harm this man's life, to take his life away. And they look just like him. Black people have got to learn to love each other. We've got to figure out a way to take out this hate and dislike towards each other. That's why whenever I'm walking down the street and I see another black person, whether it's a man or a woman, I always smile and say, hey, they may not respond back to me. I'm cool with that. But I'm opening up the door. Let's be friendly and show some love to each other. They complete strangers. I always speak to black people. I don't just walk by them. I always stop and speak. I smile and say, hey, nod my head, acknowledge them. Because I realize how difficult it is for us as black men and women in this country and how we've been so indoctrinated to dislike ourselves. So for me, we have to change that. That's why I don't like listening to this violent rap music with this. I don't listen to any of that stuff. And we have to change how we view each other. Like I said, I grew up in the 70s, and I remember the Black Pride, be proud. But, we have to bring some of that back. We must be proud and love who we are. Then we won't have incidents that happen where 5 officers make a decision to beat the hell out of somebody for no reason. Give me that. It's a beautiful day. I'm about to throw the ass on that deck outside. It's about 60 degrees outside. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Let me get them situated on this deck, because it's 9 o'clock in the morning. They just running crazy over here. Hold on. And I'm back. Sorry they won't be making an appearance in the video today, y'all, because I'm tired of air. So they were running around and sagging back. And I put them out there on the front porch. However, we have got to change the way we view each other as black people. We are too quick to harm each other for no reason. I think we're much more willing to harm each other than people of other races. Meaning, we'll harm, kill, shoot other black folks and leave these crazy racist white people alone. That's how indoctrinated we are to hate each other. Instead of viewing the people who are our actual enemy as our enemy, we view each other as the enemy. I mean, clearly those police officers, I don't feel sorry for them, because they're going to jail. Every time there's an incident that happens where a black police officer harms somebody and kills somebody, they hurry and get them in handcuffs, in jail, most of the time, and into prison, quick. There was a situation that happened in Louisiana a few years ago where these 2 officers wrestled some guy to the ground and held him and did all this stuff to him. They just charged him with murder. They serving prison time right now. These black officers really need to stop and think about what they're doing. Why it took so many police officers to physically harm this man, I don't know. What was this all about? I'm still, so many questions in my head. Other than the fact they just didn't like it. What had this man done to deserve to be treated in that manner? Nothing. Other than just be a black person driving down the street. And they had a team of black officers that had been trained like pit bull dogs to go out there into the community and put fear in the black folks or harm black people for no reason. He didn't have any drugs on him. He didn't have any weapons. They didn't find him doing anything illegal. But they beat him to death for no reason. We have got to learn to take away this hate towards one another. And it's got to be taught at a very early age to love each other. Too much hatred in our community towards each other, and let's just keep it real. We all know it exists. We all know. The fear and hate that we have towards each other is ridiculous. And if we don't change that, nothing, and I'm just talking how black folks view and treat each other. Forget the white folks, but we know how they view and treat us. That don't matter no more. It shouldn't matter. That might not, it'll change over time, but this has to start happening now. We've got to put the work in now immediately to change how we perceive each other, how we view each other, how we may not trust each other, how we do not love each other. And this is a problem. And if we don't change that, and change this immediately, it starts at little kids learning to say that people, like, y'all fight. You supposed to, it's encourage each other to fight each other is ridiculous. I've never understood in the black community about all this fighting and stuff. I have friends now, they can't wait to get dressed, go to the club and go fight. For what? I'm like, for what? I don't get this. I'm like, I hope I'm going to get into a fight. Why would you be rejoicing about going to a club to fight somebody? I don't want to fight nobody nowhere. Not in my home, not in the club, not in nowhere. I'm not looking towards. I'm not no boxer. But y'all make it seem like we take this violence out of the equation and treat people with love, especially another black person. We're not doing that. We will harm each other in a heartbeat without any question. I mean, I'm at a point in my life where, like when I was in Gary and Chicago, I was avoiding certain places. And the sun went down, I was heading back to that hotel. Back to the hotel. Me and out here with these crazy people. I saw a horrible car accident take place in Chicago. A Dodge Charger was coming up the exit ramp behind me. I got off the exit ramp and was going through a couple of actually, we had got off the highway at this point. As I'm approaching the intersection, the light is turning yellow. So I'm slowing down to stop. This fool in this Dodge Charger almost hits me, runs around me, jumps in the other lane, then gets in front of me, and begins to proceed through the light. And then there were two cars. The car in the right-hand lane, I was in the left-hand lane. So he drove around me in the left-hand lane, then drove around that car and sped through the intersection. Just like the light was red. And a Mercedes truck T-boned his ass and towed him cars up. I was like, oh my God, it happened right in front of my eyes. Massive wreck, cars flying all over the place. I'm like, good Lord. I know how I feel about that. I ain't no superhero mess. I politely made a right-hand turn around out of them wrecked cars and went on around the block. And I drove around, looked back down the block and said, yeah, ooh, that's awful. I'm going to go to that hotel. I didn't know them folks in Chicago. I'm sorry it happened, but other people stopped. I didn't. I kept going. I did not drive through that debris. We're getting no flat tire. Oh, hell no. I turned that car around, made a right-hand turn, went up and around the block, and came back, and I could look down the block and see where the wreck was at. That man towed them cars up. For what? It was a black guy driving that Charger. Some white folks in that Mercedes. Cars, just tow up, dismantled that. Totaled. T-boned because when he T-boned me, it ran into these poles and all this stuff. That shit was a mess. I was like, wow, airbags deployed. When I drive, y'all, I saw that red light coming. I said, let me slow down because I'm not going to make it through this intersection. He sped around. I looked at that fool. I said, he almost hit us. Did he sped past me up in front? I said, okay, he about to have a wreck. As soon as he hit that intersection, that Mercedes came at full speed and it was a wrap. Unfortunate thing in Chicago that I saw right in front of me. However, back to what I was saying, y'all, we got to learn to love each other. This is the only way we're going to resolve these problems. These police officers should have known better. I don't know what kind of training they receive or what. I don't know. I don't know why they thought that they could just harm this man in such a way. And thought they would get away with it. It's mind-boggling to me. But I know how we treat each other. I know how. I know why. I've seen it. Whether you're in relationships, friendships, or families, just complete strangers. We just don't know how to love each other. And the violence is just out of control in our communities. You know, all those officers are going to get what the maximum sentence they can get if they are found guilty, which I'm pretty sure they will be found guilty based upon that video. I haven't watched it. I just saw the first initial stop, but he was like, what's going on? And he was snatching him out of the car and all this stuff. I couldn't watch it now. I don't particularly care to watch it. As I'm getting older, I don't want, I'm scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and I see these fight videos. I don't even watch this stuff no more. What's the point? And then to see my officers, I already know how this video has been described, and I just didn't need to see it. I mean, you all are welcome to watch it if you feel like you need to, but I just didn't want to watch it. And I have no plans on watching it. But I do hope those officers, unfortunate, I hope those officers, you know, I mean, you think about the violence that we would do to each other, it's astounding to me. Like we don't care about another person's life. We just don't care. And I know that many of us, we have got to learn how to love each other. I'm looking around this house, when I've been gone, this house is a mess. You know, what the hell? It is a hot mess over here. But anyway, it's not dirty. The floors need to be mopped and vacuumed. Yeah, they definitely need to be mopped and vacuumed. But anyway, short little video. Today is Tuesday, January 31st. The year is 2023. Like I said, I spent the weekend in Chicago and Gary, Indiana. Gary was so depressing. It was snowed and cold. It was so depressing. I can't do Gary, y'all. Can't go back there under any circumstances. I just can't do it no more. It's too depressing for me. But anyway, if you like my videos, click like. Make sure you share them. Sorry I was gone for a few days. I know y'all were looking forward to some videos, but I thought I would have time to make some in Chicago or in Gary, but I just didn't have time to. I was too busy. And then when I saw snowstorms coming, I said, "Better get my ass back to Atlanta." I'd be stuck up there in Chicago. Anyway, today is Tuesday, January 31st, the year 2023. I look forward to reading you all's comments and thoughts, what you all think about the whole situation with this young man that was killed by those officers in Memphis, Tennessee. And just let me know. I look forward to reading you all's thoughts and comments. I'm out of here. Today is Tuesday, January 31st, the year 2023. I'm out.